All right, I don't know how long I have. I'm going to do this specifically for this thread. This guitar is going to be a little out of tune. The biggest thing with bar chords, you might already be past this, but don't focus on your thumb and your first finger. Don't try to capo everything, right? And then try to, like, even now, yeah, see? Right? Like, it's so hard to do, and you're going to burn yourself out. Rather, like, have your thumb, right, when you're behind the guitar neck, a little bit more by your middle finger, just a little bit more. What you should do is, if I take this A bar chord, right, focus on these fingers. Make sure that fret placement is good, right? And just put your first finger down, right? Get that sound. Add a little pressure up here. Now, what you do want to do, and it's uncomfortable for some people in the beginning. Again, I don't know how far along everybody is, but if you put that pressure, it's not going to be pressing down like that, right? You're going to be a little bit above, and that's just going to make it a little bit easier for what's going on down here. This is usually a trouble section, to be honest, the E and the B string. So now, what you're actually doing is you're applying pressure here on the bottom two strings, right? And then on the top. So when I play this chord, again, a little out of tune, but that buzz was actually my middle finger. That wasn't my first finger. I should have better finger placement, to be honest. But if I take these up, that's what my first finger is doing. Don't try to squeeze it. You're gonna burn that muscle out, right? Real quick. That's a really strong muscle, but you're gonna burn it out. So you wanna make sure that you've got these fine. If you're focusing on this, these are gonna start pulling back, and then the whole chord is gonna sound awful, right? So at least try to get these up, lay this down, cool, get a little pressure up at the top. It does not take much to get that sixth string, right? This is nothing, right? And then try to add the pressure down here, so you're doing a little bit of an arch. Now, another secret, I really love this. I didn't notice this until maybe the third or fourth bar chord lesson I was having with a student. There is something happening back here. All right, this is one of those things that will naturally start happening. So it's nice to touch upon it. And I promise you, as weird as this sounds, and how some guitar players are going to be like, "That's not right technique," I know that they do it just a little bit. I know that they'll do it right. You're going to sort of pull back this way, right? So you're not just squeezing for those bottom strings. Like, there's going to be a little bit of pull in this direction, like with your elbow, right? A little bit of pull, and it's actually this hand, right? That part just under your elbow that's actually pulling in the opposite direction, right? And that's just evening this pull out. That a guarantee, right? Because you can pull this a little bit and you can pull this a little bit. It lets that muscle loose, and you're not doing anything too crazy. Like, it's not like if you try to play the guitar without a strap or something, like standing up, how you have to hold it and like you can't really strum. Just a little pull there and a little pull back here, and you're good. Try all those one at a time. Right. Oh, lastly, I'm sorry. For this bar chord, I use my third finger to cover those three. I don't worry about the bottom string. Okay, if I do that D bar chord, put your thumb behind those three. Get those going before you add that first finger in. Okay, and you're gonna guide. If you need to move that around or move to it, you're gonna guide with that first, not your first finger down first and then getting those three in. All right, that is gonna be very helpful. All rules still apply for a D minor, or whatever minor here, starting on the A string, right? Just because that's the same form as this. It's a little bit easier. I touch the top string, to mute it out with my first finger, right? Same rules apply. Now, a minor here, it is impossible for me. If I do an A major, then I go to a B minor, it's impossible. My middle finger immediately comes down and just helps out here, just to give me a little extra pressure for that third string. Right, but same deal, I'm pulling back here, right? Because I could pull back like crazy right here, get that pressure on the bottom few, and I barely need to touch the top string, right? So you don't need to focus much pressure at all on the top string. I really hope that helps.